Hey, before you pour any of your hard-earned money into these repairs, before you sell your house, you need to pause and watch this video first. I'm gonna give you 15 common fixes that home sellers are doing, especially here in the Central Texas area where I am, and they are netting you almost zero return on your investment and sometimes pulling extra money out of your pocket that doesn't even need to be taken in the first place. I'm gonna tell you which ones you should skip and what buyers actually care about, okay? But before we hop into all that, the first thing we gotta do is pick our goal. What's the end result we want? Do we want the max sales price or do we want the least stress? That'll add some clarity to our decision making down the line. We use that as our North Star whenever it comes to the repairs that we should or shouldn't make. Okay, today I want to save you some money because I want to go over the 15 repairs that you should pretty much just skip if you're about to put your home on the market. Now, I'm in Central Texas. That is Killeen, Temple, on down into North Austin. That's my hood. So if you are a person that has a super luxury house in Northern Pennsylvania, this is probably not gonna apply to you. But I'm talking to my people that are not uber rich and we just kind of have normal houses in the Central Texas area. These will definitely apply to you and save you some money. So let's get into it. I just left a house that we're about to prep for the market in Coppers Cove, and what she did was what most people just would not do. She replaced the roof, she replaced the floors, she repainted and like redid a whole bunch of wood rot, really made this place nice. Now, it needed it. These repairs are gonna be contingent upon if your house needs it. And number one is installing a brand new roof, which this client did. Now, I told her to do it because the roof that she had been there for 20 plus years. There was clearly shingles missing and rot all over it. You could see it from just on the ground in the backyard. It was going to be the primary reason that her house sat. But if your roof is not that old and you don't clearly have a lot of wearing on your shingles and it looks like it's in good shape, if you have some missing shingles, maybe you just patch and replace. I would start there before I just do a full roof replacement. Why? Because one of the issues that I'm facing with her house is she wants all that money back. And all the money that you put into replacing that roof, you are liable to not get it back dollar for dollar, even if you price higher. Don't replace your roof, okay? If you can avoid it, let's patch it, price it right, and move on. Number two is doing a full kitchen facelift. And that means like new cabinets, brand new stone countertops, brand new appliances, brand new flooring and backsplash. Like that's gonna be way too much. Kitchen is one of the biggest selling points in a house for sure. But you will not get the return on investment by putting all of this money into the kitchen. Now, if you're putting this money into the kitchen because you want to enjoy it and live in it for a little while and you think it will help raise your value in the long term, then yes, I approve. But do not do all of these things just to sell. What's gonna help a little bit more is just some touch-up paint on the cabinets. Maybe you even paint the cabinets. I'm okay with that. Adding some hardware and doing small adjustments and doing a really, really deep clean. Those things will help more and net you more than making a huge investment in a full kitchen facelift. Another thing that I see often, it's number 3 on our list, and that is window replacement. Now, if you have an older house that was built in the 90s and has those aluminum windows that let out all the heat, then that's not gonna be fun for the person that gets your house. But depending on how you price it, you may not need to touch those. The person who gets your house may be perfectly fine with it. You are not gonna get your money back if you replace those windows beforehand. I'm just telling you, if it's gonna be a problem and you have the glazing in the windows that makes your house like look a little ugly, then I would say let the buyer ask for that in the repair amendment. Don't do it preemptively. If they want it done, let them ask for it to be done. But windows are so expensive that if you replace them on your own before you list the house, sure, it'll make your house more appealing, but you will not get the money back on that. All right, number 4, this is a big one in Texas, all right? New HVAC. Don't replace that AC if you can help it. Now, the home that I'm about to list in Coppers Cove, she actually did. She went out and replaced the AC, and I told her karma is on your side. Like, you are really taking care of the next person that is moving into this house. That's kind of got to be the mindset, because if the AC works, then you should not replace it. Now, in her case, the AC actually did work, but somebody told her that it was kind of on its last leg. So she just went ahead and replaced it for the sale. She's not going to get her money back on that, but it is going to be one less thing that she has to worry about when it comes time for us to negotiate repairs. So if you can avoid it, don't get the brand new AC. And then on top of that, if you're going to have to get the brand new AC, don't do what she did. She hired Lowe's to come in there and do it, and they charged her about $6,000 more than an average AC company would have charged her to go and do it. So it was like 16 grand for her to swap that out. One of the AC companies around here probably would have put that thing in there for a good 9 or 10. So if you gotta do it, do it. Don't let Lowe's do it. Get an AC company to do it. Price and make sure that you're getting the best price, because you're not gonna see that money again. All right, number 5 is another one that is kind of Texas specific since it's so hot here. But what I don't want you to do is add any solar screens or heavy tents, all right? Because that's gonna darken the house. If you have neighbors that can see into your back windows and you want to block them out, and you're going to put that tent up so that the next person who comes like gets that privacy, that might end up working against you. It's going to make the house look darker, which is going to make the house look a little bit smaller, which is going to also make the house look a little bit more aged. We want a nice, bright, airy house. And so if you have tent, I would say maybe you remove it. Same thing for those dark solar screens. They kind of look ugly. And if you have them, they will bring down the curb appeal of your house. So if you're gonna put it up on the market, I would say take those things down. Definitely don't put them up, because you won't make the money back on that, like at all. Number 6, do not put solar panels on your house to sell it, okay? Even if you pay them off completely, you buy them cash and put them on the top of your house, no matter what that little 21-year-old kid who comes knocking on your door says, they will not add any value to your house. Will they make somebody choose your house before they choose the next house because you have a lower utility bill? Maybe, but you won't see it dollar for dollar. The 40, 50 grand that you're gonna pay for those things, you're not gonna get that back. So just know, if you do put solar on your house because you enjoy it and you want it, that's one thing. But I will say this, it can also stop people from qualifying when you take out a loan for the solar panels and you expect somebody else to assume the loan for those. So I would just not touch it at all, not put the solar panels on there if you don't think that you're gonna be there long enough to pay them off. And if you expect to get the cost of those back dollar for dollar, they're so expensive that I just wouldn't fool with it. Number 7 is installing a new sprinkler system. Do you see a pattern here? It's okay to fix things, but let's not just upgrade things for the next person that's coming in here. All right, so if the sprinkler system doesn't work, that's one thing. But if your grass is looking a little ugly because you don't have a sprinkler system, maybe you work on revitalizing the grass as much as you can and adding a little bit of landscaping to make it look pretty, but do not install a new sprinkler system. You won't see the return on that, like not even close. Fix it if it doesn't work, but don't replace it unless you absolutely have to, and that's something that I would let the home buyer ask for. Number 9 is another one that is so pretty, but it's a little expensive to do, and that is epoxy the garage floor. Now, if you are in a higher end neighborhood and your garage floor has all these grease stains on it and it just looks horrible, maybe we try a power wash first. But if that doesn't work, then okay, you can epoxy it, but that costs like $5 to $6 grand sometimes. Please don't expect to get that money back. If we can avoid it, let's avoid it. Do not epoxy the garage floor to bring in a buyer. It is nice, a lot of people like it, but you won't get that money back. Now, if you're looking to just beat out the competition with something a little special, like an epoxy floor in the garage, then yeah, okay, I get it. But don't expect a dollar for dollar return because probably won't happen. All right, number 10 is retiling the bathroom. Look, I don't care how much tile you got in there. Start with just making sure that it is clean and it feels well kept. Make sure that you're recalking, and at best you can re-grout, right? Re-grouting is probably gonna cost you several $100s. Retiling is probably gonna cost you several $1,000s. And that is a major facelift for any bathroom. It is a long, expensive headache of a process, and you won't see the return for that. Like, I guarantee you, the thousands you spend to get it retiled will not come back to you. People would just prefer your bathroom to be clean, nice, and well kept. So focus on that rather than focusing on just upgrading the whole thing. Number 11 is replacing the concrete on the driveway because of those hairline cracks that you see. That's a big one here in Texas. Like, we're on this weird soil that settles and moves. And just because there's cracks in the driveway doesn't mean that your foundation is bad. And I feel like most people kind of know that. Like, those are two separate sets of concrete. You can fill them in, you can seal them up, and you can make sure that you don't have any drainage issues, but cleaning off that driveway is probably going to do you more justice than replacing the whole thing. Like, you might make more money back from getting that power washer out there and making sure that that thing glistens and shines rather than getting out there and redoing the concrete, repaving that whole thing. Expensive, headache. I wouldn't mess with it. I would just make sure that I'm priced appropriately. Number 12 is installing a water softener just to sell. Now, if you put the water softener in there for your own comfort and well-being, then it's going to be great, but it will not add $1 to the value of your home. We've got hard water here in Central Texas. Like, it's a thing, but I've never had a home buyer go in and be like, oh, this house has a water softener, I'm going to buy this. Literally never happens. Water softeners are expensive. If you install it yourself, it probably costs you, $1,700, $1,800. You won't get that money back. And also, like, I think people don't really understand the appeal of a water softener in that way. A lot of people are relocating from other places into Texas. They don't understand the hard water situation. So I think this is one where if you don't already have it, you could just not do it. Also, if you do have it and you're moving to another house, I feel like you could take it with you. I don't think you have to leave the water softener because a lot of people just don't care until they've been in the house for a couple years and they see, oh yeah, really need that water softener. That was me. I'm people. Number 13 is gonna go back to the landscaping. Do not resod or add trees, okay? First of all, resodding is a whole thing. Like, if your yard's ugly, your yard's ugly. We work with what we got, all right? We're not gonna resod, at least for a large area. If you got a little ugly patch, that's one thing. Gonna cost you a few $100s to get in there, resod that little patch, blend it in, make it look good. That's one thing, but we don't want to resod the entire yard and have it looking like a new construction with all these little patches. Like, we don't want to do that. Let's avoid it. I don't think it's going to add the dollar value that you're spending out in order to make that happen. The other thing is, don't add trees just for the sale. Add trees for your enjoyment. The best time to buy trees is 20 years ago, right? Fully matured, large trees are going to be great in any front yard or backyard, but these little tiny brand new trees that you put in, it's not going to give you the value, and it kind of looks ugly when they first install it. Now, if you got a dead tree that you need to replace, that's one thing. If the HOA requires you to replace the tree, then you replace it. But before I would replace it, I would just take it out and maybe fill it in, put a little decorative landscaping right there if I could, but I would not pop another tree in there if I could help it. And if you do have to, go small. Put a little tree in there, all right? A little tiny tree. Here's another one this is a little niche, but for my people who have these brick and stone houses, a lot of times they will see these small holes in their brick and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna fix those. I'm gonna tighten those up. Don't touch them. Don't touch them. You actually need them. Those are weep holes, and they're gonna help the house breathe and move and get rid of moisture. So keep those. Don't fix those for the next person that comes along. You actually need them. And if they ask you to fix them because they got cited on the inspection report, number one, they have a horrible inspector. And number two, you tell them that these are absolutely necessary. I will not touch them, and that is for your benefit. And number 15 is a whole house repaint. Little caveat here. If your paint is ugly and nasty, then yeah, we might want to repaint it, but it depends on the square footage, right? Because if you have a super big house, it's going to cost you a lot of money to repaint that. You may do better just giving an allowance, which can probably be less than it might cost to paint the whole thing, or you just price your house to a place that would make people want to compete for it. And that way you're not spending a ton of money trying to repaint this whole thing. Focus on spot painting. Okay, if there is one particular room that's bad, we paint that room. If there's just scuffs and dings on the wall and scratches from the dogs, we focus on those. And if we need to blend the entire wall in order to make it all work, we do that. The last thing we want to do is paint the entire house. My seller who is about to list her home, she did paint the entire house. Now that house hasn't been painted since 1993, so it needed it. It did need it. But if you already have decent neutral paint, if you got accent wall, you need to paint it. But if you have decent neutral paint already, focus on cleaning, focus on spot painting, focus on just little touch-ups. We really got to focus on your return on investment when it comes to selling your house, especially in this market where you're competing against so many other homes. It is easy to get carried away doing all these large projects in order to get it sold, and what you end up doing is sucking more money out of your pocket than is necessary. You have a great house and the next person who gets it is going to be super happy, but you just kind of shot yourself in the foot and pulled a lot of money out of your pocket that you didn't have to. My name's Stephen Harris. All I do all day is help people make good decisions about the homes that they want to sell or buy. I'm in Central Texas, but my team can help you anywhere in the great state of Texas. So if you're looking to buy or sell, reach out. Link is in the description. I would love to have a conversation about your unique situation. And typically it's me that takes the calls. So I would love to hear your story. Would love to chat with you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.